This is a very nice neck. It's a roasted maple neck, flame maple, gorgeous rosewood fretboard, but it's got a problem. Somebody stripped out the holes in the neck. In fact, this is so bad that you can just sort of stick the screw in and pull it right back out. The threads are gone. So what we need to do is drill this out, and then we need to plug it. So let's go get the plugs. Using a plug cutter, take an old piece of solid rock maple flooring and cut 4 plugs out that we're going to glue into the drilled out holes on that neck. Why not just take a dowel that you get at the hardware store, or those little dowel inserts you use to connect furniture together? You never want to use those for repairing holes that are too large in a bolt-on guitar neck, and here's why. Those dowel rods that you'd use for a plug, or those birch dowel inserts for holding furniture together, are cut along the grain. So you end up with a bunch of wood strands that are sticking right out the hole, and it's very easy for those to pull out and strip out. This is a flat sawn piece of wood. It's actually quarter sawn, and that means all the grain threads are oriented this way. That's why you go through the extra effort of creating a plug, because then you've got layers of very, very strong wood that the screw is going to bite into, and you have far less chance of it pulling out. And so I set the depth stop on my drill to make sure I don't go all the way through the fingerboard. Using a brad point drill, it's very precise, and it won't want to wander when I start to position it where the old holes are going to be filled. Now that we've got 4 holes drilled, and here's another reason why you use a brad point drill. You get very, very clean holes. So there's no tear out, and so making sure I have a consistent ring of glue around each of the 4 plugs. That tells me that I've got glue on the entire surface of the plug that's in the guitar neck, including the base.
And put some tape on here to protect the wood as I take a flush cut blade, and not using any real pressure because I don't want to dig into the neck heel itself. Going to go through each of these plugs to get them flush. I'm doing the final cleanup here of this last of 4 plugs, and you'll see I'm using a rocking motion. I'm not pushing, I'm just letting the blade itself cut so that I don't slip and push this through and scratch something, including myself. And
got the neck clamped in the pocket, and even though it's a nice tightly fitting pocket, we always want to make sure that the neck is lined up before we drill new holes to bolt the neck to the body. So we put on an outside E string, high and low, and made sure everything is sighted properly down the fingerboard, so that when we drill these holes, it's going to properly line the neck up with the body. I always like to measure before doing things, because there can be variations even in the nominal size of wood screws used to bolt on necks to guitars. So what I've done here is the shaft size, not the threads, the shaft size is just a hair under 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to use an 1/8 inch drill bit. That means I'll have just the right size hole diameter. There'll be the maximum wood in the surrounding area for the threads to bite into, and I will be making the hole large enough so that
we're not jamming the shaft of the screw into the hole once it's drilled. And the outside diameter is 11/64. It's almost like it's metric. One way to set your drill depth safely is to simply match it to the length of the screw. And then I have a level on my drill that tells me that I'm putting this hole in straight. The rock maple plugs are installed, the new screw holes drilled into the plugs, everything stained to match as best as we can. Time to put the Strat back together and see what this puppy sounds like. Well, it's a pretty nice Strat now that we've got the neck back onto the body the way it should be. Hope you enjoyed some of the tips I shared. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on picking.